The third person to ever receive one of Elon Musk's Neuralink brain chips can now speak again using his own voice. This is literally telepathy, controlling a computer with just his thoughts. Brad Smith lives in Arizona with ALS, which has left him reliant on a ventilator and only able to move his eyes and the corner of his mouth. He's undergone surgery where a robot, way more precise than the human hand, has inserted a Neuralink device into a coin-sized hole in his skull. It's a little chip that extends these tiny threads, carrying over 1,000 electrodes into the brain. And they pick up raw signals, which are then transmitted to a MacBook via Bluetooth and processed to decode the user's intended movements. So using just his thoughts, Brad can direct the cursor of his computer to type words. Then, artificial intelligence, also developed by Musk, creates a vocal clone of Brad, allowing him to speak out loud without moving at all. Now, there's always a question with this kind of tech. Are these mind-reading machines? Brad insists that the Neuralink doesn't read his deepest thoughts or words I think about. It just reads how I want to move. What do you make of it?
Alright, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Alright, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this word of life. Alright, and Shalom, peace and blessings to you dear brothers out there, and you few sincere sisters. Alright, so like you saw in that video, alright, the third person ever to take the brain chip, alright, has taken it, alright, and you saw this man had ALS, alright, and the chip was able to make him speak again, alright. It could connect through a coin-sized hole in his skull, alright, to the electrodes in his brain, alright, or whatever the case is, whatever the word is called, alright, and he could use his thoughts to direct a computer, alright. So this is the mark of the beast, alright. This is the MOTB, alright, in the forehead, alright. Let's get that, then we can get back to 2 Thessalonians 2, alright. Revelation 13 and 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark or a charagma, an engraving, alright, in their right hand or in their foreheads, alright. So John the Revelator, when he saw this vision, alright, he saw people lining up to get chipped in their hand, alright, as well as people getting that brain surgery in the hospitals, alright. That's the microchip, that's the mark of the beast, alright. That word mark is Strong's G 5480, charagma, alright, Salakia. Alright, charagma, Strong's G 5480, a stamp, an imprinted mark, alright, so it's a physical thing. It's a etching, alright, thing carved, sculpture, graven work, alright, of idolatrous images, alright, from the root word karax, which is that needle, alright, which is cut on a bias, alright, like the palisades that you drive into the ground. If you cut something on a bias, you cut it diagonally, alright. Now you think if you cut something at a 90-degree angle, you have a flat surface, right? If you cut it at a 45-degree angle or on a bias, right, you have one end of that that's sharp, all right, that pokes out. All right, so that's what they're gonna do to insert that thing into people's skin, all right. So this root word karax is the needle that they're going to use to put the microchip in people, all right? And this is prophecy, all right? This is Bible prophecy, all right? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, which is Esau, the son of perdition, right? Edom, a little excited, the so-called white man, all right? The son of perdition, the wicked, all right? Malachi 1 and 4, all right? Edom is known as the border of wickedness, all right? Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof, all right? The judges being Israelites, all right? specifically the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, all right? He painted them to be so-called white men, all right? Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, all right? And by forcing people to take this brain chip, all right, so we can have full control over people, because that's what it's all about. It's all about full control, all right? That's Esau, the top wicked elite of Esau Edom, showing themselves that they are the Most High, all right? But it's not going to work out, all right, because they are not the Most High. They're his hated creation, all right? The son of perdition, like it says here, all right? He created them just to destroy them. Let's get that. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. All right? So the Most High set up the wicked, the Edomites, all right, the self-proclaimed white man, for the day of evil. All right? He made them do all this wickedness just so he could judge them. All right? Because he can do that. All right? He can do whatever he wants. All right? Let's get back to 2 Thessalonians 2. And 5, it says, remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Here's the point. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is his prophets, all right? The prophets are exposing this devil, all right? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, all right? And what's the brightness of his coming? That's the nuclear destruction, all right? The chariots of the Lord and the nuclear destruction, all right? Destroying this place, all right? Now, let's go to, in the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon 1, it says, Wisdom of Solomon 1:9. For inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. All right. So through the prophets, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, all right, beginning with the head apostles of Great Millstone, all right, an inquisition is being made into the counsels of the ungodly. All right, these top wicked elite of Esau Edom, they're being exposed. All right. And let's get that in Job, his iniquity. Let's see, Job 20:27, it says, the heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him, right? And, what do we use to, bring out this information, all right, is the internet, all right? And there are other internet scriptures, all right, such as Psalms the 19th chapter, all right? And, the Lord is doing the heavy lifting, all right? Or the Lord is allowing the internet to do the heavy lifting, all right? He's letting the ministry of the prophets grow via the internet, all right? And what's one of the main things of the ministry of the prophets is exposing this devil, all right? Declaring his iniquity, all right? And you got in heaven, you got the satellites, all right? So, this is prophecy, all right? Seeing these microchip implants coming around, that was written of old, all right? This is Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, all right? What's the vision? The end of the world, the end of Esau Edom's world, all right? The coming of Yahushai, all right? The nuclear destruction of America, Babylon the Great, all right? This is Habakkuk 2:3 in the NLT. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, all right? So this is going to happen, all right? Excuse me, you can bet your bottom dollar, that this is going to happen, all right? These prophecies were not written just for laughs, all right? The Heavenly Father is not the author of confusion, and he's not a man that he should lie, all right? So this is Matter of fact, let's get that. This is the little horn, all right, spoken of in Daniel, all right, which is America, all right. Daniel 7 and 8, and I considered, and Salakia, let me calm down a little bit. Daniel 7 and 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, America, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up, all right. America defeated Great Britain, Spain, and France in wars, all right. Three of the other horns, all right, to establish its independence, all right. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things, all right. So, what's that mouth speaking great things, all right? Speaking all this blasphemy against the Most High, all right? This so-called white man putting himself as the Most High, all right? Like it says in 2 Thessalonians 2, all right? The so-called white man trying to perform these miracles on the left-hand side, all right? Through Satan, all right? Let's get back in 2 Thessalonians 2, because it speaks about that, all right? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. That's a lying wonder, all right? Let's put this brain chip in you, and now you used to be paralyzed, now you're not paralyzed. Now you can use the power of your thoughts to move a cursor on the computer screen, all right? Now you can use your just the power of thinking to, speak, all right? We're gonna have a loudspeaker or an amplifier or whatever attached to this brain chip, which is connected by Bluetooth to to the speaker, and you're gonna think a certain thing, and it's gonna play out loud. That's a sign. That's a lying wonder. All right. That's demonic. All right. And this AI stuff is demons. All right. It's communing with demons. All right. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 9 in the NLT. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles, right? The Esau is getting his power on the left-hand side through sorcery and witchcraft, all right? So I'm going to end it there, all right, you brothers and sisters. I pray you were edified, all right? We're here, all right? The Lord is coming back. Yahushua is coming back, all right? Let's get that, actually, signs of the times. Matthew 16 and 3, it says, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? All right. So you can't discern what the times are. All right. Let's get that. Some of these signs to look out for. All right. Of thy coming. Let's see. Matthew 24 and 3, it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. We see that going on, all right? See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, all right? And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. We're seeing that as well, all right? All these are the beginning of sorrows, all right? So we're looking out for these signs, all right? Let's get signs in heaven. Luke 21 and 11, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great sights shall there be in heaven. All right. So, you got the, those strange eclipses, those blood moons, those lunar eclipses, those crazy moons, and of course you got the chariots in the skies. All right. You got the chariots going crazy. All right. Making themselves, the chariots showing themselves left and right, all right? So the Lord is coming back, all right? The Heavenly Father, he's not going to just show all these signs, show all these prophecies coming to pass, all right? Show all these, tokens and times of the signs of the times and tokens, all right? And then just, delay it another 20 years, another 50 years, all right? Now, here it is, he sent that angel to the brothers in GMS Los Angeles, all right? And that was clearly an angel of the Lord, all right? And furthermore, you got all these chariot sightings left and right, all right? And, you think that the Heavenly Father is just going to stop with all these signs and then just everything goes back to normal for another 10, 15 years? And then, he picks back up with the program of, that this being the end times? No, we're definitely here, all right? So I'm going to end it right there. I pray you brothers and sisters were edified. All right, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, taught me this word of life. All right, and Shalom.